Having a great day. Welcome back to the vlog, everybody. It's your boy Steven Scoots. I hope you guys are having a great day today. I'm having a great day today. If you guys hear any airplanes going over me, sorry about that. I'm in an area where there's just a lot of airplanes going throughout the day, and we're gonna try to film and do our best while they do fly over us. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I got hurt in my whole entire scooter career. I've had about 2 or 3 bad accidents. I've knocked myself out before. I've given a huge bubble on my knee. I've hit my ankles plenty of times. I've fallen many of times. I've hit my private area. There's just been many different instances where I have gotten hurt, and I'm gonna share them with you today. But first, we're gonna get a warm-up session, and I hope I don't fall on this, but let's get into the video. I hope everybody enjoyed that warm-up. That warm-up was actually really fun, and it was like really good to get some tricks in the early morning before, you know, it gets too hot and anything like that. So the first thing we're gonna go into my first accident scootering. When I first ever started scootering, I had to like learn how to kind of catch myself and fall, because if you don't, you're gonna get really hurt. So I had to kind of learn that along the lines of me riding, you know, getting better throughout the years. So now it's a little different, but back then I wasn't the best. And so one of my really big accidents, I was about in 8th or 9th grade, I think either like late 8th grade or freshman year in high school, and I was at Desert Breeze Skate Park. Everybody was there at the night. We were having such a fun time riding, getting clips, talking, just catching up with everybody that was like at that moment in time that was riding. And it was just a fun thing to come out to the skate park after school, you know, afternoon. There's not many people there because it's still hot, but during nighttime, everybody would swarm there, ride, and just have a freaking awesome time. And I always did have a great time riding there. I learned at that skate park how to ride, grow up, and learn tricks and things along those lines, made lifelong friends too. And during that time, there was this one time when there was something going on in the parking lot. I think it was an ice cream truck coming or something along those lines, and it was just like a block and a half that you have to go to a convenience store. And you know, no one ever wants to ride uphill to a convenience store. If you ever ride or you ride anything, always best thing to do is go downhill. But if you have to go uphill to a convenience store, it kind of sucks. But you know, if you want it that bad, you're gonna take that little bit of a trip to go get it. And the airplane is coming too. I was riding at the skate park while everyone from the skate park kind of just ran over and rode over to the ice cream truck to get drinks and like snacks and stuff like that. And the next thing you know, well, when everyone comes in, I thought one of my friends was not, he wasn't paying attention. He thought I went on the side of the bowl, and I actually jumped into the bowl. So when he, how do I put this? When I jumped in, he didn't notice that I jumped in, and then he jumped in thinking he was just gonna, you know, come back out. I thought I was gonna come back out, and I didn't pay attention, he didn't pay attention, and this freaking tragedy happened, where we both simultaneously jumped into the bowl, and when we went down, we both collided really hard. I thought at that point in time I died. I couldn't breathe. like once as we collided, I fell back, and I think at that time I was wearing a helmet. So if you guys do wear helmets while you guys go ride, make sure to always stay safe. Even though like sometimes I might not do it, always stay safe on your own thing. So just always wear protective gear when you're riding. But what really sucked is when we both went in and we both went down for the drop, we collided and we both fell back. He was, it was perfect out of him. He got no scratches or nothing out of it. I, on the other hand, I lost my breath. I thought like I hit my throat in an area. I thought my Adam's apple went into my throat, and I couldn't feel that. I was really thirsty. I couldn't really talk as well as I thought I was going to be able to, and I was just like, what the hell happened? Like I don't even know what's going on. And then my knee, my left knee just started, it's hurting really badly, and I'm like, this is kind of weird. This is kind of strange. This is not usually like what happens. And what I've noticed was after everybody helped me out of the bowl, I got my drink. My friend Pookie at the time, he got me my drink, and I took the break out of the whole entire rest of the time of riding. Instead of riding, I just like sat there, and I was like calling my parents so they can come pick me up so they could take me home, because I was in no shape of riding anymore. I was hurting, I was in pain. And what ended up happening on my knee, which was the kind of craziest part, what ended up happening on my knee was here's my knee, and there was like a bubble on the side of it, which was super insane. It was very painful. It's like I grew another knee on top of my knee. It was just a really weird, awkward type of thing happening, and I didn't know how to react to it, and it was very painful. I couldn't bend my knee, which was another really sucky part of it. I couldn't really walk. I was limping everywhere. After I left the skate park, the bubbles started getting bigger, and there's more airplanes going over when I'm talking. This is not the best time to film. And this bubble on my knee started getting bigger, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm like gonna do. I don't know what's gonna happen. I ended up taking a shower and everything. The bubble went down a little bit, but right as I freaking washed my knee and then I bent it again to get out of the shower, oh my, it popped back up. I felt like a pop, and it popped, and it just got bigger and bigger, and it just stayed there. And it sucked because when I had to go to bed that night, I couldn't, like, usually I like to like lay on my stomach or my side sometimes. It feels more comfortable to me, but no, I couldn't do that. I had to literally, like, if you're like sleeping in a coffin, I had to like sleep like that, and it was very painful, and the sleep was not the best because you can't really roll, you're in pain. And I didn't go to the hospital or anything. I was just like, okay, cool, I hit it. Let's just wait until the swelling goes down, and hopefully it goes away. And within the next 2-3 days, I was able to walk perfectly again, and everything was okay after that. And I was really stoked on that because I didn't want any type of crazy stuff happening. And that was one of my craziest injuries right before high school, around that area. The next painful one happened around, I think it was 2016 or 2017, around that time frame. I was in the back of Anthem Hills. There's Anthem Skate Park that we do have in Las Vegas. A lot of people go there with whoever ever comes into Vegas to visit. That's one of the skate parks. Also, Craig Ranch is a skate park that a lot of people ride. And I was in the back of Anthem Hills, just searching around for like hills, because there they build the houses and they have these like massive hills you can go down, and usually the cars and people walk them. And sometimes I was able to find these really big hills when their cars like not going. I'm like, okay, I can bomb this hill. I can go as fast as I can. And actually, when I was driving at the time I had my car, I would be going down the hill. I put it in neutral, and from literally 5, it went up to like 35 miles an hour. So about that, just not even pressing the gas or the brake on my car, it was able to take all that weight and make it go even faster, like 30 miles an hour. So I was like, okay, well, on my scooter, I'm gonna be going anywhere between 20 to 30, 35 miles an hour, depending on how fast I'm gonna go and stuff like that. And I have it on GoPro footage of me literally bombing down this hill. It was so fun, it's so fast. I had pegs on, so I couldn't really turn the best, because if I turned too hard, my peg would catch and I would flip over my bars and start tumbling and really hurt myself. So I didn't want to do that. So the next thing I thought of was to just turn, because the sharp point was going on the hill, and I had to turn to the right so I wouldn't have to go straight, because I could end up going straight, but that wasn't that fun. I wanted to be the smart one and turn right. So when I tried to turn right, all of my friends were at the top of the mountain still coming down, taking their time because they didn't want to go as fast as me. They didn't want to get hurt. They weren't that much of a daredevil like I was. So I was just like, okay, cool, this is what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna turn and I'm gonna try to make it. Now, I tried taking it wide. Yeah, it didn't turn out so well because on camera what ended up happening is when I noticed halfway I was not turning as much as I actually needed to turn. Next thing I know, there's rocks and there's a huge bush. And I'm so freaking happy, everybody, that there was a freaking bush right there, because if there was no bush right there, I would have gotten hurt even worse than I did. What ended up happening was I freaking jumped 2-3 times over these huge boulder rocks, and I'm lucky I did not get hurt off that, but I jumped over them, and this bush stopped my speed from like 20 miles an hour going, and just instantly stopped. I ran into the bush so hard, I cut myself up in so many different places on my stomach, and I have the footage here, which I'm gonna show you now. Turn! Holy shit! Ah! Oh my god! No brakes! No brakes! I have no brakes! There's no car! Oh my god! Ah! Ah! Oh my god! Oh! Oh my god! Ow! Oh! Oh! Fuck! Yeah, that point in time, that was just a really crazy incident that had happened to me, and always really judge your speed and how much you're able to turn and everything when you're ever on like a street area where there's cars and stuff. Make sure there's no cars coming. I'm glad that no cars came because I would have ran into that car really fast and probably would have had damage. Another thing is just be very careful with whatever you're doing, wherever you ride, and if you're mobbing down. And there will be times where I've had it before where I almost broke both my arms coming home from the skate park because the sidewalks are supposed to be like this. They're supposed to be flat. No, where I was, it was like this, and then I hit it and I flew 2-3 sidewalks over. And then if you go outside and you look at a sidewalk, kind of spaced out, so you just going, 12 to 17ish 20 miles an hour down the hill, just heading home from the skate park. You're exhausted from the day. There's a fly on my camera somewhere here. I almost hit my camera too, and someone just passed and they looked at me really funny because I was doing this. Oh, that's so great. Yeah, the other time was coming home from the skate park, really exhausted. Next thing you know, the sidewalk was not aligned. It was a little up and I hit it and I fell, and I had all my camera gear on my backpack, and this was like 2 years ago. Had all my camera gear on my backpack, and I landed on both my arms like this, and I took out all the air of me. My drinks that were in my backpack flew forward. My scooter was about a few feet back. It was a really sucky night. It was really cold as well. It was wintertime when this happened, and I started getting I could think hypothermia, but I'm not getting hypothermia. My body's just really cold, and I just injured myself as well from going from that speed and just instantly stopping and landing on both my arms and hurting myself. So like I knocked the air out of myself. It was getting really cold. I was shivering. So I wasn't getting hypothermia, but I was getting something like that. If you guys know the name, comment that down below because I don't know the specific name. And that was just a really sucky point. I had to call my father to come get me because I was not riding the rest of the 5 miles to get home because it was that cold and it was that hurt. Yes, it was downhill, but I couldn't stand it anymore. So I had to give a phone call to get some assistance and help. So that was that. Now this is my final story of something happening. I've hit my private parts in videos before, trying tricks which really hurt. I've fallen off my scooter going with a good amount of speed. I ran into bushes going a good amount of speed. I've gotten injured at the skate park plenty of times. You thinking you could ride the skate park when it's raining, and next thing you know you fall and you eat shit, and that sucks, and you knock the wind out of yourself, and that sucks even more, and then everyone leaves you too. That's another, so like you're the only person there to kind of help yourself, which sucks. But the main crazy thing that happened to me, this was in 2018. I don't have any footage of it, but I do have the photos of how I looked after this accident, and I'll show them now. Alright, so I'm gonna end this vlog up by literally talking about what happened, why I look messed up, on how I actually do. I'm actually bleeding a lot. My teeth like low-key hurt, how I have fake teeth. What ended up happening. As you guys seen, I was very lucky with not catching my eye on this photo. meaning like how I hit myself and knocked myself out. I'm very happy it didn't clip my eye and I didn't lose any vision or anything like that, and the scars have healed very, very well on my face too. So what ended up happening was I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with all my friends at this point in time to the skate park at Anthem, and it was nighttime, the lights were on, everything was nice, there was a few people in the park, my friends were there, I was there, we were having a great time. I said, okay, cool, I'm gonna warm up for about 20 to 50 minutes, and then I'm gonna get the GoPro, and then I'll start riding. And at that point in time, I didn't even have a official GoPro, I had a knockoff GoPro. And I was like, okay, cool. And literally this happened. I was just about to put the strap on. I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm just gonna go ride, have fun, and I'll get clips after, right? That's not what ended up happening. Within that warm-up session, I knocked myself out. Now, many people have knocked themselves out the skate park. It's a horrific thing. It's not fun. It sucks. You can even you can injure yourself severely, and or you could even kill yourself, which is, you know, kind of ish scary point. And for a lot of my friends, it scared them as well, because, you know, it ended up scaring my friends a lot too, because they told me after I was knocked out that, you know, I was repeating stuff and everything. So this is the story that would happen. We went there. It was me and a few of my friends. We went to Anthem Skate Park. Next thing you know, I said I'm gonna warm up. I wasn't able to warm up so well. I went in 20 minutes. It was really, really, really cool. And there's this part of the entry when you enter Anthem. There's like Bertha, there's the Spine, and if people have been there before, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And then off to the right, there's like the bigger section, and it has Big Bertha is what they call it, and what as I know it as. And it's like a 12-foot quarter. Literally, it's a 12-foot quarter. And it's like no joke. If you fall down that, it's gonna hurt. Now, what had happened was, when I went on that, I've hit it many times. I've done bar spins into it. I've jumped into it, jumped out of it. I'm just very familiar with that skate park. And this doesn't happen to me often. I don't ever want it to happen to me often or anyone else here. But I misjudged something with my scooter and the coping, and it did not end up well for me. When I went up to the coping, and I was just gonna do a simple 180, no bar spins, no tail whips, no nothing, no tapping, no nothing. I'm just gonna do a simple 180, and I'm just gonna try to go around coping. Well, I ended up going above coping, and when I went above coping, my back wheel, when I was doing the 180, it came down, it hit the coping, it clipped it. Once it clipped it, instead of me hitting it and then going straight down like this, that didn't happen. I did the 180, and I clipped it, and I went over my bars. I went over my bars, and last thing I remember was like me going and like a shooting out from under me and then me being out. But actually what happened was I went over and I hit, and the scooter tumbled. I was kind of in a pretzel way with my scooter. I was kind of in a pretzel position with my scooter all tangled up and everything. My scooter was like hanging over me, and I was like under my scooter, and I was out. For about 1 to 2 minutes, that was the time frame, so like 60 to 120 seconds or something like that. And when I came to, I don't remember, but I remember when after they stood me up and they started having me walk back, which I was limping, and I had 2 people under me carrying me because I was not able to support my own weight. And when they got me up, apparently of what my friends told me was I was consistently asking them, what happened, what happened, what happened, what happened. And I knew in my mind like what happened, but I knew I didn't what happened because I'm getting out of my daze. And they're like, you know what, I'm not telling you anymore. I told you 5-6 times, we're done. I was like, no, listen, I'm here now. Can you just tell me what happened? And they said, well, we looked at you, you went up, and then we looked away, and you came down, and all we heard was, that's all we heard. And we didn't see you come out anymore, and so everybody was like, oh shit, what happened? So they ended up going, looking, and I was knocked out looking like a pretzel over my scooter. It was just not a fun incident, and I ended up, after getting out of that daze, I was just like, okay, what happened? What's my social security number? Where do I live? What's my name? Who am I with? What car do I drive? What are my parents' names? Where am I in the United States? What date it is? What's the time? What's the day? Like everything. I had to like slowly start getting back my memory and stuff, and then I ended up driving, dropping everybody off, and then going home after that, resting up. And the next day, I was supposed to go following day to go to work, and I couldn't go into work because of how injured I was, and I was not gonna be able to handle that. so I took a few days off, and everything ended up healing, everything ended up being good. But those are those few accidents that I have had in my career of scootering, and there possibly might be many more. Hopefully not as severe or bad, or will never ever be to that extent. And other people have had more dangerous experience or less dangerous experiences than me, but I wanted to just share my experiences and what my stories are behind of me getting hurt with everyone here, and maybe that could help you along the lines or so. But I always just try to catch myself and everything when you're gonna fall, but at certain times there's nothing you can do, and you just gotta go with the flow, and whatever happens happens. And I had to deal with it. I went through it. I lived it. I'm still here, and I'm still riding today. I still go to the skate park whenever I can, and I still ride those really big quarters. I grew up riding skate parks, and I'm just gonna keep doing it. Just wanted to share my story with you guys, and hope you guys enjoyed today's story. Thank you guys again for watching. Peace out. Stay positive. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.